Outside the Susa Palace gates, a vibrant marketplace thrives under the sun. Citizens, locals, and travelers alike navigate the crowded space, unaware of the palace intrigue. The towering palace walls cast long shadows, a silent contrast to the marketplace's lively chaos. The marketplace buzzes with activity, a symphony of bartering and chatter filling the air. The sun shines brightly, illuminating the vibrant chaos of commerce and community. In the opulent throne room, King Ahasuerus exudes power from his regal throne. His posture commands deference, as advisors surround him with etched respect. The throne room resonates with formality as Ahasuerus lends a keen ear to petitions. Ahasuerus delivers decrees with unyielding authority, shaping destinies with each word. Inside Queen Vashti's chambers, a lavish banquet unfolds amid a symphony of female voices and intoxicating perfumes. Queen Vashti's beauty captivates, her regal presence commanding attention. A subtle spark of defiance flickers in Queen Vashti's eyes, hinting at hidden depths. She surveys the scene, her gaze holding a hint of veiled resolve amid the opulence. Inside King Ahasuerus' throne room, the air vibrates with drunken revelry as the king sits upon his throne, his face flushed with wine. Courtiers surround him, their laughter echoing through the vast hall, amplifying the king's arrogance. Emboldened by their presence and the copious amounts of alcohol, King Ahasuerus gestures grandly, a cruel glint in his eye. His every move exudes arrogance and entitlement, the hallmarks of a king accustomed to absolute obedience. In the heart of the revelry, King Ahasuerus surveys his domain, his power absolute. Within the opulent chambers, Queen Vashti's defiance ignites a silent rebellion against the king's decree. Flickering candlelight dances across the walls, casting long, ominous shadows. Her ladies-in-waiting gasp, their faces reflecting shock and fear. Vashti remains unmoved, her chin lifted in a silent declaration of dignity and independence. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Vashti stands defiant. The queen's chambers become the stage for a bold act of defiance. In the opulent throne room, King Ahasuerus explodes with fury, his pacing a storm of barely contained rage. Vashti's defiance is an insult, an unbearable affront. How should she be punished? He roars, demanding retribution for the perceived slight. Advisor 1 cautions, Your Majesty, her actions undermine your authority. They could incite rebellion throughout the kingdom. Advisor 2 proposes a severe solution. To set an example, she must be removed from the throne. A new queen should be chosen, one who will respect your commands. In the vibrant streets of Susa, Mordecai moves with deliberate slowness, his perceptive eyes diligently scanning the faces in the crowd. A furrow carves deep lines into his brow, reflecting the weight of his concern as he witnesses the unfolding events. His face, a canvas of quiet wisdom, reveals a sharp, observant gaze that misses no detail. In the bustling streets of Susa, Mordecai's demeanor exudes profound wisdom. In the dim light, Mordecai's aged face is a study in worry as he kneels, his white beard a stark contrast to the shadows. Candlelight dances across the room, casting eerie shadows as Mordecai seeks divine solace. His lips move in silent prayer, a desperate plea for his people amidst growing darkness. Mordecai's hands clench tighter, his face a mask of deep concern as he senses the looming threat. He looks towards the heavens, his heart heavy with the weight of his community's peril. In the quiet of his home, Mordecai prays, a solitary figure against the encroaching shadows. Within the grand palace, royal officials stand tall, their elaborate robes shimmering under the watchful eyes of the gathered crowd. The air crackles with anticipation as banners bearing the royal crest flutter from the vaulted ceilings. The royal official's voice booms through the hall. By order of His Royal Majesty, King's name, a decree is hereby issued. Every heart in the kingdom races with excitement and unease as the decree is read. All beautiful young virgins throughout the kingdom are to be gathered and brought to the palace. The king seeks a new queen, and from amongst you, one shall be chosen to reign by his side. Sunlight bathes Esther's room, a humble space filled with unspoken anxieties. Her face, a canvas of worry and reluctant resolve, mirrors the difficult path ahead. Mordecai's gentle voice fills the room, his kind eyes offering a measure of comfort. Esther listens, her brow furrowed with worry, as the weight of her destiny settles upon her. Slowly, she nods, a silent acceptance of the fate that has been thrust upon her. Her slight nod seals her fate. The die is cast. Esther enters the palace harem, a sensory explosion of exotic perfumes and hushed expectations. She is introduced to Haggai, the king's eunuch, his observant gaze missing nothing. Around Esther, beautiful women stand, a kaleidoscope of vibrant hope and simmering anxiety. Each woman vies silently for the king's favor, their eyes reflecting ambition and fear. Esther stands among them, a new flower in a competitive garden, her presence adding to the tension. In the quiet of her chamber, Esther sits, worry clouding her face. Mordecai stands before her, a beacon of calm in the dimly lit room. I am filled with so much fear and uncertainty, Mordecai. How can I possibly do this? Esther's voice trembles with doubt. Mordecai's eyes reflect unwavering faith as he reassures her. Trust in God, Esther, Mordecai urges, his voice filled with conviction. Remain true to yourself, and he will guide you. Esther enters the palace harem, a world of unknown customs and hushed expectations. Under the royal decree, Esther begins her transformation. Immersed in beauty treatments, she practices courtly manners, her movements growing more graceful with each passing day. Esther studies the customs of the court, her mind absorbing the complex rules of palace life. In the opulent throne room, Esther's arrival silences the court, every eye drawn to her commanding presence. Seated upon his majestic throne, King Ahasuerus watches Esther approach, his regal composure unwavering. Bathed in a soft, ethereal glow, Esther's beauty captivates the room, her graceful movements enhancing her allure. As Esther draws nearer, King Ahasuerus' expression transforms from stern authority to open awe, his heart stirred by her radiant presence. King Ahasuerus sits upon his majestic throne, his gesture commanding attention in the opulent throne room. Sunlight bathes the throne room as King Ahasuerus proclaims, I declare Esther to be the new queen of Persia, replacing Vashti. Nobles and dignitaries fill the room, their expressions a mix of awe and anticipation as history unfolds. The kingdom erupts in celebration, filling the throne room with cheers and jubilation. Sunlight floods Esther's chamber, casting a golden glow over the opulent space. Esther, now queen, stands near the window, lost in thought. Her fingers trace the fine embroidery of her gown, a silent acknowledgement of her royal status. Yet beneath the regal facade, a quiet humility shines through, a promise to honor her heritage. In the bustling streets of Susa, Mordecai watches silently, his gaze fixed on the distant palace. Unseen, he remains Esther's constant guide, his presence a beacon of wisdom in the shadows. His watchful eyes absorb every detail, a silent guardian amidst the vibrant chaos of the city. Though distant, his influence subtly shapes Esther's path, a hidden hand guiding her destiny. The weight of his knowledge settles upon him, a silent promise to protect Esther from afar. In the heart of Susa, Mordecai stands as a steadfast sentinel, his loyalty an unbreakable bond. In the opulent throne room, King Ahasuerus sits regally, a symbol of absolute power. Haman stands beside the throne, radiating arrogance and ambition. Ahasuerus nods, sealing Haman's ascent to greater power. The courtiers bow deeply, a silent acknowledgement of Haman's enhanced status. Amidst the lively palace gates, Mordecai stands resolutely, his gaze unwavering. He remains steadfast, refusing to bow. Haman witnesses Mordecai's defiance. Haman's face contorts with fury, his eyes blaze with anger. In the dimness of his home, Haman's face flickers with shadows, his anger beginning to seethe. He paces restlessly, his wrath growing with each step, envisioning the Jews as targets. His eyes burn with resentment, fueled by pride and a thirst for vengeance. Haman's dark scheme simmers within him, a poisonous brew ready to spill over. In the vast throne room, Haman stands before King Ahasuerus, his voice laced with deceit. "These people, Your Majesty, are a danger to your kingdom," Haman declares, his words carefully chosen to sow discord. "They refuse to honor you and your gods. I implore you, issue a decree. Let them be eradicated." Haman urges, his eyes gleaming with dark ambition. King Ahasuerus listens intently, his expression hardening as Haman's lies take root. "If that is your counsel, Haman, then so be it. Seal the decree with my ring." The royal decree echoes ominously through the streets of Susa, its iron words casting a pall over the Jewish community. Fearful faces peer from behind veiled windows, their eyes reflecting the sorrowful weight of the law. The once vibrant marketplace is now subdued, its lively chatter replaced by hushed whispers of dread. The decree hangs heavy in the air, suffocating the spirit of the city. Whispers of despair weave through the alleys, carried on the wind like a mournful cry. The iron words of the law cast a long shadow, dimming the light in the hearts of the Jewish people. In the stark confines of his home, Mordecai stands, a silhouette of sorrow. With desperate hands, Mordecai tears at his garments, the sound echoing his despair. He casts handfuls of ashes over his head, a cloud of gray dust enveloping him. The ashes settle, transforming Mordecai's hair and clothes into a canvas of mourning. Mordecai's face, a mask of anguish, reflects the impending doom of his people. Sunlight floods Esther's chambers, illuminating her royal life. Esther's face pales as she reads the scroll, her world beginning to crack. Mordecai stands before her, his grave expression a stark warning. Mordecai urges, "You must reveal your Jewish identity to the king, Esther. Plead for your people." The weight of her heritage descends upon her. Esther's eyes reflect the daunting task ahead, her resolve hardening. In the dimness of her chambers, Esther is tormented by the weight of her impending choice. The shadows lengthen, mirroring the gravity of her decision to approach the king unbidden. Knowing the potential cost of her defiance, she seeks solace in silent prayer. Her whispered pleas echo in the stillness, a desperate plea for courage and guidance. The fate of her people rests on her shoulders as she grapples with the enormity of her task. In the quiet of the night, Esther's resolve hardens, her spirit fortified by unwavering faith. In the serene light of her chambers, Esther resolves to defy fate. Her resolve hardens, yet a tremor of fear flickers across her face. She kneels, hands clasped in fervent prayer, seeking strength from above. Days of fasting mark her face, but her unwavering faith burns brightly in her eyes. In the grandeur of King Ahasuerus' throne room, Esther makes her daring entrance, clad in royal robes. King Ahasuerus, seated on his throne, his eyes widening in surprise at Esther's uninvited presence. The air thickens with suspense as King Ahasuerus observes Esther, a gesture of mercy. King Ahasuerus extends his golden scepter towards Esther. Life spared, Esther breathes a sigh of relief as the golden scepter signals the king's favor. The throne room gleams as sunlight floods through the tall windows, a stage set for destiny. Esther enters, her serene face a mask of quiet strength. Servants flutter about, completing the final touches in a flurry of nervous anticipation. Every detail is perfect, yet the air crackles with the weight of unspoken tension. Esther stands unwavering, her gaze fixed on the king, her resolve unyielding. The fate of a nation hangs in the balance, suspended in the golden light of the throne room. Inside the opulent banquet hall, candlelight casts a soft glow on the lavish decorations. King Ahasuerus sits regally at the head of the table, a flicker of unease betraying his composure. Beside him, Haman attempts to appear relaxed, but his white knuckles reveal his inner tension. Esther moves with graceful serenity, a storm of calculation brewing beneath her placid smile. The hall buzzes with unspoken tension as each player conceals their true intentions. Within the regal chambers, King Ahasuerus sits upon his throne, the candlelight casting shadows that dance across his face. Esther stands before him, her gaze unwavering, a beacon of resolve in the dimly lit room. Esther's voice breaks the silence, her words a plea wrapped in royal grace. "I request that we both attend another banquet the following night." King Ahasuerus listens intently, his expression unreadable as Esther makes her request. The fate of a kingdom hangs in the balance, veiled within the delicate request of a queen. The chamber, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, reveals tapestries that hint at ancient glories and untold power. Haman's imposing figure moves restlessly, his face shadowed with a fury that belies his favored status. His face contorts, reflecting the torment of Mordecai's defiance. Haman summons Zeresh and his advisors. Zeresh and the advisors gather, their expressions betraying concern as they surround the ornate table. The heavy, ornate table becomes the focal point of brewing schemes and dark deliberations. The courtyard of Haman's estate pulsates with tension, torchlight painting eerie shadows. The air crackles with malice as Haman arrives, his face a mask of fury. Haman gestures violently, his rage fueling the hurried activity of the builders. The builders scramble, their movements frantic as they erect a towering gallows. The dark wood of the gallows rises starkly against the night, a symbol of impending doom. In the dimly lit chambers of King Ahasuerus, restlessness consumes him as he tosses and turns in his opulent bed. Shadows dance across the walls, mirroring the turmoil within the king. Unable to find solace, Ahasuerus gestures wearily to a nearby servant. His voice echoes through the chamber, a command veiled in desperation. "Bring me the royal chronicles. I cannot rest." The servant moves with haste, the weight of the king's command heavy in the air. The chronicles are brought forth, their ancient pages promising a distraction from the king's disquiet. In the opulent chambers, King Ahasuerus sits on his majestic throne, his face etched with deep contemplation. He turns his gaze upon Haman, whose confidence radiates through the court. "Hama, I wish to bestow great honor upon a certain individual," the king declares, his voice echoing with royal authority. Haman, eager and ambitious, responds, "Your Majesty, for a man whom the king delights to honor, let royal apparel be brought. Then parade him on horseback through the city streets and proclaim before him, 'Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor.'" In the opulent chambers, King Ahasuerus gestures commandingly, his decree echoing through the hall. His voice resonates with authority as he orders Haman to bestow royal honors upon Mordecai. Haman's face pales visibly, a stark mask of humiliation slowly solidifying his features. Suppressed anger simmers beneath Haman's carefully constructed facade. The weight of the king's command crushes Haman, forcing him into subservience. Inside the opulent banquet hall, hundreds of candles cast a warm glow on the unfolding drama. King Ahasuerus sits at the head of the table, his face a mask of curiosity and unease. Beside him, Haman struggles to maintain his composure, a bead of sweat betraying his inner turmoil. Esther watches them both, her expression unreadable as the unspoken tension fills the air. The banquet hall glows under the candlelight, shadows stretching far across the tables. The king leans forward, eyes fixed intently, awaiting Esther's plea. Esther stands, her voice filled with newfound power. With resolute strength, Esther declares, "I am Jewish, Your Majesty, and Haman has plotted to annihilate my people." In the opulent banquet hall, King Ahasuerus' fury descends like a thundercloud. The very goblets tremble as King Ahasuerus slams his fist, the sound amplifying his rage. The hall is silent, save for the echo of fury, as King Ahasuerus rises abruptly. A storm of royal robes follows King Ahasuerus as he storms out, leaving chaos in his wake. The banquet hall is left in stunned silence, the air thick with unspoken tension after King Ahasuerus' departure. In the opulent banquet hall, Haman's desperation unfolds under the flickering candlelight. His face contorted, he falls to his knees before Esther, begging for mercy. Tears stream down his face as he clutches at Esther's robes, his fate hanging in the balance. In a desperate plea, Haman's grip tightens on Esther's robes, his face a mask of anguish. The banquet hall buzzes with life, light dancing across the faces of nobles and guests. The king enters, his face flushed with anger, his eyes blazing as they fixate on Haman near Esther. Haman stands casually near Esther, unaware of the storm brewing in the king's gaze. The king's expression hardens, a silent promise of wrath etched upon his face. With a voice that cuts through the hall's murmur, the king commands, "Seize him. Haman will be hanged on the very gallows he prepared for Mordecai." In the grand throne room, King Ahasuerus is seated on his ornate throne. The weight of his crown is palpable. Sunlight floods the vast room, illuminating the silent court. With a commanding gesture, King Ahasuerus silences the murmurs of the court. A royal decree is revealed as a scroll bearing the royal seal is unfurled. The fate of the kingdom hangs in the balance, sealed by royal authority. The streets of Susa burst with vitality, a city reborn in hope. With newfound determination, the Jews fortify their homes, preparing for any threat. Mordecai, tall and regal, becomes a symbol of triumph as he is honored through the streets. The grateful populace celebrates Mordecai, their savior, with unrestrained joy and admiration. Under the relentless sun, a vast battlefield becomes the stage for a desperate clash. Steel meets steel as Jewish warriors and their enemies collide in a furious dance of death. Arrows fill the sky, a deadly rain heralding the Jews' unwavering courage and skill. With each strike, the Jewish warriors push back, their resolve turning the tide of battle. The enemy falters, their attacks weakening against the Jews' indomitable strength. A triumphant cheer erupts as the enemy breaks and flees, leaving the Jews victorious on the blood-soaked field. Sunlight bathes the throne room as Mordecai and Esther stand before the court, ready to declare a new era. Mordecai's voice rings out, a decree of joy and remembrance. Let it be known throughout the kingdom. From this day forward, we shall establish a feast, a time of joy and remembrance, Esther adds, her voice filled with regal authority. This feast, to be called Purim, shall commemorate our deliverance, the day when the plots of our enemies were turned against them. Mordecai proclaims, "Let us celebrate with gladness and feasting, sending portions to one another and gifts to the poor, that all may share in this joyous occasion." The court listens intently, the weight of their deliverance hanging in the air as a new tradition is born. The streets of Susa explode with life as the Jewish people celebrate their triumph and divine rescue. Tables overflow with food, a feast of gratitude shared among families and friends. Laughter and music intertwine, creating a symphony of thankfulness and freedom. Every corner of Susa radiates with the joy of deliverance, a city reborn in celebration. The air vibrates with the collective heartbeat of a community united in jubilation. Sunlight bathes Esther's chambers, illuminating the quiet solitude. Worry and triumph are etched into Esther's face as she gazes upon the city. A profound sense of gratitude washes over Esther. Esther touches the gold bracelet, a reminder of her immense responsibility. The weight of her actions humbles her. A faint smile graces Esther's lips as she reflects on her journey. Sunlight bathes Mordecai's humble home as he sits at his worn wooden table. He pores over ancient texts, his brow furrowed in deep concentration. Despite the intensity, a gentle smile graces his lips. Mordecai continues his sacred work, a beacon of wisdom for the Jewish community. His dedication shines through, illuminating the modest room with purpose. Life in Susa resumes its rhythm, the palace gates standing as silent witnesses. The echoes of Esther's bravery linger in the air. The Jews' deliverance serves as a timeless beacon of faith and resilience. The gates stand as a testament to enduring strength. King Ahasuerus sits upon his ornate throne, a vision of regal authority. He surveys the opulent throne room, his gaze thoughtful. A subtle shift in his demeanor hints at a deeper understanding of justice. A palpable sense of responsibility guides his rule. The throne room is opulent, radiating power and wealth. There is a new sense of purpose in the air, a shift towards a more just reign. Susa unfolds in panoramic splendor, its architecture radiant under the sun. The city stands as a testament to resilience, its beauty echoing through time. Esther's legacy as a queen who risked everything for her people endures through the ages, a testament to courage and unwavering devotion. Her legacy of courage and unwavering devotion remains etched in the stones of Susa.